Good morning. I'm here to talk to you today about getting started on the recorder. The first thing you're going to notice is that my left hand is on the top of my recorder. The reason that my left hand must be on the top of my recorder is because if I put my right hand on top, when I go to play the notes that are down here, my fingers will not be able to cover the holes, because the holes are actually aligned for the left hand to be on top and the right hand to be on the bottom. Similarly, all woodwind instruments in the universe, as far as we know, are played with the left hand closest to the mouth. And all woodwind instruments in the universe are designed for the left hand to be on top so that the pads or the holes are lined up with the left hand fingers being on top and the right hand fingers being on the bottom. Secondly, I need to make sure that I'm playing with flat fingers. If I use curvy fingers like we do on the piano, when I go to play, I will be leaking air through the holes. Does everybody see that? Leaking air through the holes right there. So if I keep my fingers flat and the pad of my finger is what covers up the holes, then I will get a good seal on the holes. This would be hot cross buns played correctly with flat fingers. And this is what it would sound like if I was playing with curvy fingers. Because it's very important for my holes to be covered, I need to make sure that I have flat fingers. But occasionally, you may also just completely miss a hole, not get it covered up completely. This would be hot cross buns with me not covering a hole completely, even though my fingers are flat. When I go to blow into my recorder, it's very important that my air is warm and slow as well. This is warm and slow air, the kind of air that I would use to fog up a window on a cold day. Sounds like this. If I use fast, blow out a birthday candle kind of air, I'm gonna sound, well, you'll see. Again, I'm flat fingers and my holes are covered, but I'm just using too much air. I need to make sure also on the recorder that I am using correct fingerings. Like, think about the recorder as the school bus. The seats are assigned on the school bus. Just because I'm only playing these two holes covered, I'm not going to use these two fingers, because if I do, my whole hand will be out of position. I have seen people try to play things like this. Let's see. Did you see how I switched my hand back and forth from these two holes covered to these two holes covered? That was incorrect. Let me show you the correct way to do it again, where all of my feet hover, or all of my fingers hover right over the assigned seat. This is my turn. Lastly, and I want you to really take a look at what's happening here, is the way that my mouth and my tongue interact with a recorder. I want you to imagine that you're stealing a swipe of frosting off of your brother's birthday cake. You see again how my lips pull forward around my fingertip when I'm sucking that delicious, fantastic frosting off the top? The same thing's going to happen with my recorder. My lips are going to draw forward slightly. Then inside my mouth, my tongue is moving. My tongue is moving to separate all the sounds on the recorder unless it's otherwise marked, which does sometimes happen. But as I was saying before, what I'm going to be doing with my tongue inside my mouth is I'm going to be touching that spot that gets burned when you eat pizza that's too hot, you know, right behind your teeth. Sometimes you might even get that little dangly piece of skin after you've burned the roof of your mouth with pizza. That's the spot I'm touching with my tongue. And when I do, it separates the sounds. For the sake of argument, I'm going to play what it would sound like if I played hot cross buns without tonguing between the sounds. You notice it just sounded like I was playing a whole bunch of very long notes. Sometimes people will try to, instead of tongue, use their breath to kind of push. That would sound like this. Again, I'm going to be going instead of using my tongue. And when I do, that extra little burst of air makes a really uncomfortable squeaking sound. But instead, if inside my mouth, I just think to myself, do, 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 and I touch the roof of my tongue with my mouth, ta, 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 then I will get that beautiful sound of. All right, it's almost time for you to try.